So recording is on, and so today, what I'm going to do, I will tell you about how Delhi can also be understood with due reference to textual materials. Hmm. So I had given you one example that was of Mahabharata, which is an epic, and it is a voluminous. Hmm. It is a voluminous, and uh, what it claims is that it has been authored by a single author. So this is one thing. Another thing which we must bear in mind is that it is voluminous, and it is claimed to be authored by one person. And second, uh, very interesting point, which will be used to contest the authorship and the authenticity of information which this particular epic provides in regard to Delhi in particular. Uh, so because this storyline which this epic has does not get confined to a very feasible time limit. It actually spans over hundreds and hundreds years. In fact, it spans over 1,000 years. It is for this reason that uh, radical historians, conservative historians, and who consider archaeological evidence as the true evidence, and those historians who stick to the clear history's boundary, they do not accept Mahabharata and its information as authentic. So in the first place, what they do actually, they question the single authorship, which is not possible in the light of the fact which this new group of historians they put up. One is that uh, s- there are thousands of verses which is not possible for a person to accomplish such a a phenomenal task. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
And secondly, that the time is not confined to one person's life time. It actually spans over thousands years. So again, on the basis of this, the logic which actually emerges is that one person must not have lived for 1,000 years. So in this case, I hope you all know who the author is actually of Mahabharata. Have you heard of the Vyas?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Vyas is actually said to be the author of Mahabharata, but those who actually argue, those who have their own sense of reasoning, especially from the historians' quarter, they actually question single authorship, uh, and they also question the authenticity because Mahabharata in general has now become a metaphor for the battle. But if you actually start, unlayering it, if you just unpack it, you if you're not very careful, you will be actually taken from one story to the other story, and the other story, the other story's timeline, and the story which you will have started, there is a lack of correspondence, especially the temporal correspondence. तो एक स्टोरी का जो टाइम लाइन है, कभी कभी क्या होता है कि दैट विल टेक यू इनटू रामायणास टाइम, एंड सम टाइम इट विल टेक यू इनटू सम अदर टाइम्स. सो उसमें ढेर सारे टाइम लाइन की क्रिस क्रॉसिंग है. So that again actually troubles and puzzles, and it becomes very intriguing. And it is for this reason that historians do not accept the claims of Mahabharata uh, to be true. Okay. So I will, in this regard, share one very popular storyline. I'm not going to discuss entire Mahabharata because this paper is about Delhi. So that piece of information, which is significant. which is relevant for discussion of the Delhi, I will bring this up. So one is that of the choice of Delhi, the choice of Delhi uh, as a site of governance, as a site of the political control, uh, is very interesting in this regard. So, as per the information which comes from Mahabharat, it refers to a few places like Hastinapur, Kurukshetra, Khandav forest, Indraprasth. So these are few places which very often figure in Mahabharata's text. So places like Indraprastha, Hastinapur, which is associated with the Meerut, and Kurukshetra, which is more or less in the part of Haryana. And these are all actually the inside and outside of Delhi. Not exact Delhi, which we are talking about today. As I had told you in the very beginning, we must not be guided by President's Delhi's image, because Delhi at that point of time did not have a clear outline. It did not have any crystal clear boundary as today's Delhi. So some parts of Haryana is also considered to be the part of it, and some part of Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab and Rajasthan. So there is a shape which Delhi is actually taking, and this very process is called Delhi in making. Is it clear to everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, moving on to a certain a pattern. For example, in and around Delhi, you will also come across names of places which more or less sound similar, especially when you look at the suffix, like Tilpat, Indraprasth, uh, Panipat, Bagpat. Have you all heard about all these places? So the
Yes,
ending,
sir.
the ending, that is the suffix, the conclusive part of that names, these all sound very similar. So that actually tells about what must have been the pattern in and around. So we are keeping pattern in mind. We are also keeping the very meaning of the names. For example, Indraprasth. Uh, so how do we get to know about Indraprasth, and what do we get to know about Indraprasth, and how is Indraprasth related to Delhi? So in Mahabharata, there is an episode where Arjun and Krishna, who were considered a very favorite duo. They would very often meet, and they would very often talk to each other, and Arjun would hold Krishna in a very high regard for his views, which he would provide him in answer to questions which Arjun will have in the course of his everyday life. So they both had perhaps gone on the bank of Yamuna river. I mean, this is just a storyline. आप लोग इसको पढ़ोगे in this book, in collect compilation, you will have this storyline. So when they are sitting and having good time on the bank of Yamuna river, uh, a new character emerges, uh, Agni, in the form of Brahmin, and suddenly it happens so that they start clearing up the forest. Agni means fire. So that ultimately leads to the breakout of the fire, and it all gets burned down. Mm. So it does not happen actually. It is actually burned. So there is a human agency which is burning. So we must keep two things in mind in this regard. One is that this story must not be looked at in literal sense. It must be looked at in a figurative sense. That means ये एक trope है, and what is the content which is underlying this trope? It is that the as I had told you in the very beginning, Delhi was a very hilly terrain, and it was also forested terrain, so not very hospitable. So in order to render it hospitable and livable, uh, uh, the clearance of the forest and leveling of the ridges, this might have become necessary. So this story related to the burning of forest through this mythological stories is more or less figurative rather than literal. So that is one thing. Another thing, from this very storyline there is a corollary which comes out of it, is that when this forest was being burned, all the creatures of the forest, they were trying to escape. Mm. So very few could manage to escape this this burning process. So among them, there were few animals, uh, and among them was the snakes, and there was also a character called Maya. Mm. So Maya is also said to be a character who somehow managed to escape this fire. So Maya was very grateful for coming out of it, uh, and then in return for the gratitude, Maya uh, offered a service. Maya promised a service to Lord Indra because he was grateful to Lord Indra. I mean, this is how the story goes on. So Maya promises to fulfill his claim which he actually was making. So Indra, in return for his safety, asked for a very a powerful palace in this very region. That is the Khanda forest. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so they say since Maya made a very grand palace, in in praise of Lord Indra, who is supposed to be the instrumental, behind his, safety. So this very place was named after Indra. So that became known as the Indraprasth. So historians who actually talk about Delhi, they relate that Indraprasth with the Delhi. But the archaeological team uh, has not found any concrete example of a palace which was supposedly very strong and very massive. So according to them, if there was any palace as such, or palace of such a description, which is supposed to be very very massive, because it says that it was surrounded by a phenomenal moat. Mm. And it had several pillars, and it had massive structure. If there was a something which was there in the material form, it cannot disappear. It must actually it must be there, even even if in the debris form. So archaeological team has not found any such concrete example. So wherever they have excavated, in hope that they would find something which would match a place of description, है ना, provided by the Mahabharata, nothing of that kind has actually come to their knowledge. That is why they do not take the information of Mahabharata at its face value. Is it clear?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Hindi में समझाइए.
हाँ हाँ. What is Vivek saying? Vivek, say clearly.
सर हिंदी में समझा दो इसको।
अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ मैं हिंदी में बताता हूँ। अ, देखिए, दिल्ली के इतिहास की जब हम जानकारी के लिए जब मेहनत करते हैं, तो हम तमाम स्रोतों को इंगित करते हैं, है ना। तो उन तमाम स्रोतों में मौखिक स्रोत एक है, और जो शाब्दिक स्रोत है जिसको है ना किताबें बोलते हैं, वो एक है, और पूरा तात्विक स्रोत अ, उसका तीसरा स्रोत है। तो अभी हम बहरहाल जो दिल्ली के आसपास के जो नाम हैं, उसके आधार पे ये जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि ये नाम हमारे टेक्स्ट में भी थे क्या, प्राचीन जो साहित्य होते थे, जो प्राचीन किताबें होती थी, उसमें है कि नहीं। तो उन प्राचीन किताबों में जो प्राचीनतम हैं, जो मौजूद हैं, उसमें महाभारत रामायण का नाम बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। तो महाभारत में ऐसे तमाम नाम मिलते हैं जो मौजूद दिल्ली में, जो आज की दिल्ली में या पुरानी दिल्ली में, जो मध्यकालीन दिल्ली में या प्राचीन दिल्ली में, ऐसे नाम बहुत सामान्य थे। और उस नाम में आज भी कुछ ऐसे नाम हैं जो बहुत सामान्य हैं। जैसे आपका इंद्रप्रस्थ, आप लोगों ने नाम सुना होगा। इंद्रप्रस्थ यूनिवर्सिटी सुना है आपने? इंद्रप्रस्थ कॉलेज भी है, आईपी कॉलेज भी है।
यस सर।
हाँ, सो दीज नेम्स, ये जो नाम है ना, इनका जिक्र महाभारत में भी है। फिर उसकी हिस्टोरिसिटी को समझने के लिए, उसकी ऐतिहासिकता को समझने के लिए, कि इसमें ये कितना तथ्य है और कितना मिथक है, तो आर्कियोलॉजी का जो टीम है, जो पुरातत्व विभाग का जो पूरा अ, एक टीम है, और जो किताब में जो सूचना मिलती है, उन दोनों को जब एक साथ हम रखते हैं तो काफ़ी टकराव होता है। वो टकराव इस किस्म का है कि एक बहुत मशहूर कहानी है जो इसमें मौजूद है महाभारत में। वो ये है कि जब अर्जुन और कृष्ण, जो दो बहुत घनिष्ठ मित्र थे, यमुना के नदी के किनारे जब वो बैठे आनंद ले रहे थे, तभी वहाँ पे अग्नि अ, न- नामक एक कैरेक्टर है ना, सामने आया। और उसमें कुछ ऐसा हुआ कि तीनों ने मिलके पूरे जंगल में आग लगाना चालू कर दिया। हाँ, तो पूरा एपिसोड का कहानी यही है। तो ये जो जंगल है जिसमें आग लगाते हैं, उसको ये लोग संबंधित करते हैं खांडव फॉरेस्ट से। जो खांडव जंगल है ना, उससे संबंधित करते हैं, जो कि पांडवों के हिस्से में आया हुआ था। तो अब जो इतिहासकार वो हैं जिसको, जो इसको भी कुछ हद तक सत्य मान के चलते हैं, तो वो ये सलाह देते हैं कि इसको आपको अ, वास्तविक और शब्दशः नहीं लेना है। इसका जो एक रूपक जो मतलब है, उसको आपको, है ना, उसको आपको कैप्चर करना है। तो उसमें रूपक की तरफ जब वो इशारा करते हैं, तो ये बताने की कोशिश करते हैं कि दिल्ली अ, तथ्य पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, मतलब तथ्यात्मक तरीके से देखा जाए, तो दिल्ली एक ऐसी जगह है, उसका एक ऐसा भूगोल है जहाँ पे पहाड़ है, बहुत ही खुरदुरा जगह है, ढेर सारा है ना घना जंगल है, और उस जंगल में रहना उतना आसान नहीं है। तो उसको आसान बनाने के लिए, उसको रहने योग्य बनाने के लिए आग जलाना एक व्यवहारिक निर्णय रहा होगा। फिर भी उसी कहानी के लाइन में एक दूसरा कहानी जो उसमें जुड़ा हुआ है, वो ये है कि जब आग लगता है तो सब उसके प्राणी बहुत जल जाते हैं, और उसमें से कुछ ही बचते हैं। और उसमें एक कैरेक्टर है जो माया, जो उससे बचता है, तो वो बहुत ही कृतज्ञ होता है इंद्र की तरफ। उसको लगता है कि इट वाज इंद्र हु परहैप्स रेस्क्यूड हिम एंड आल्सो अनदर कैरेक्टर। तो वो उसके बदले में, इन रिटर्न फॉर दैट हेल्प एंड असिस्टेंस, he promises to fulfill any wishes which इंद्रा विल हैव। जो इंद्र की कोई मनोकामना होगी तो वो उनकी फुलफिल करने की कोशिश करेंगे। तो इंद्र की यही कामना थी, या जिसने भी उनको मदद की, कि यहाँ पे एक किला बनाया जाए इन प्रेज ऑफ इंद्र। और चूंकि ये इंद्र के नाम पर बना था, तो उसका नाम इंद्रप्रस्थ पड़ा। और ये जो प्रस्थ है ना, बाद में करप्ट होके जैसे जैसे लैंग्वेज में बदलाव आता जाता है वो पथ हो गया। तो आपको यहाँ पे दिखेंगे ना ढेर सारा ऐसा जगह होता है जो दिल्ली के आसपास में बहुत कॉमन है। इंद्रप्रस्थ जैसे नाम है तो उसका नाम बाद में इंद्रपथ हो गया। इंद्रपथ हो गया। इसी तरह से आपको तिलपत मिलेगा, तिलपत। तो क्या बोलते हैं, जो एक प्रीफिक्स होता है ना, एक उपसर्ग होता है और एक और होता है प्रत्यय। तो प्रत्यय जो है शब्द के अंत में आता है। तो ये जो प्रत्यय यहाँ पे क्या है, पथ है ना। पथ का मतलब होता है कि है ना, एक प्लेस को इंडिकेट कर रहा है और एक रास्ते को भी इंडिकेट कर रहा है। सॉरी। सो दिस इज व्हाट वी ऑल नीड टू कीप इन माइंड कि इसका जो प्रत्यय है, जो सफिक्स है ना, वो बहुत ही कॉमन है, जो दिल्ली के इर्द गिर्द पाया जाता है। सो उस पैटर्न को ध्यान में रखते हुए जो लिबरल हिस्टोरियंस हैं वो बोलते हैं कि ठीक है, दिस मस्ट हैव बीन दिल्ली, ये दिल्ली ही रहा होगा या दिल्ली के आसपास का एरिया रहा होगा जहाँ पे जिनकी चर्चा महाभारत भी करता है। लेकिन जिस पैलेस को माया ने बनाया, जिसको इंद्रप्रस्थ बोलते हैं ना, जिस पैमाने पे उसको बनाया, यदि ऐसा कोई पैलेस रहा होता, हाँ, महाभारत कालीन पीरियड जिसकी चर्चा करता है ना, 1000 BC, 1000 ईसा पूर्व के आसपास में माना जाता है इसका, है ना, रचना। 1000 से लेके है ना काफी आगे तक। तो उसमें बोलते हैं कि उस समय जो एक्सकवेशन हुआ है, जो उत्खनन हुआ है, तो उसमें ऐसा कोई महल आपको मिलता नहीं है। इज इट क्लियर? स्पष्ट है?
Yes, sir.
हाँ। सो
You are
टेकिंग
teaching from your sir. Are you teaching from the book or from your personal knowledge?
विद रेफरेंस टू द रीडिंग मटेरियल। आप नाम बताइएगा अपना।
Ankur.
हाँ, अंकुर, हाँ, प्लीज। यू हैड अ क्वेश्चन वेदर आई एम शेयरिंग दिस विद माय ओन thought or bringing this up from the book. Is this a question?
Yes, sir. That's I'm asking.
No, 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 no. I am not. I have no authority to give any opinion of myself. This is very much, with reference to the book, the reading material which I am sharing with you. If you have
Okay.
any doubt or any claim in to make, you can. You are very welcome. आपके पास ऐसा कोई इंफॉर्मेशन है जो आपको लगता है कि यू वांट टू शेयर?
No, sir.
हाँ, हाँ। So this is how. So archaeological team, in the hope that they will find something or some place or palace which will match the description of what Mahabharata had to talk about, है ना, especially in regard to the Indra place. They could not actually locate anything. So that is why when you actually think of writing about a place, or when you think of knowing place's history, you refer to all kinds of sources. You cannot discriminate. What you do actually, you bring all the informations from different sources, even if those informations do not match, or in many cases they actually contradict each other. But for objective understanding, we must have everything on a single platter, and on the basis of us and historians, to decide which one to rely more. Because at the end of the day, we all have to be very logical. We have to be very logical, uh, and this is what the history believes. You cannot actually rely upon something which is based on the imagination. It must have some sort of evidence which you can see, which you can read, which you can understand. So archaeological team therefore requires that if there was anything which was in existence, which is not there anymore, but its traces could always be found. So what they do actually, they try to study those stray evidences, and also the massive evidences to reconstruct the past. They try to complete one coherent storyline to get a very clear picture of. So Delhi ke case mein, in case of Delhi, they are trying to collate all the sources. So they are referring to Mahabharata also. They are referring to what people had to say. So now there is another storyline I would refer to. What is that storyline? That uh, the king Parikshit, the king Parikshit, whose son Janmejay had become very revengeful towards the snake, because Janmejay lost his father Parikshit uh, due to snake bite. So Parikshit died of snake bite. So Janmejay, son of Parikshit, decided to exterminate all the snakes from this universe. So he started, he is also said to have followed a similar course of action. He set the entire forest on fire. Hmm. And then the forest started burning, and all the snakes from all over places, all over the universe, they started actually getting pulled towards the fire, and they were all, they were all being burnt. So this is what was happening. But one snake, he is considered to be the king of snake. His name is Takshak. I mean, this is again a storyline. I'm not sharing from my own imagination. This story can be found in Mahabharata, which is very much there in Upender's books. आप लोग के पास यदि उपेंद्र की जो किताब होगी ना, उसमें भी आपको ये स्टोरी लाइन का रेफरेंस मिलेगा. तो व्हाट डज एक्चुअली जन्मेजय डू? ही इज बर्निंग ऑल द फॉरेस्ट in order that all the snakes are burned, but one snake, so called the king of snake, Takshak, with the gracious help of a Brahmin, who again happens to be from the family. With his help, he manages to survive. He manages to survive, and so this is one storyline. So it is said that there is a place. It's in Sihi. If you take a look at the map of Delhi, which I had shared with you, on that map, somewhere in southern part of Delhi, there is a place called Sihi. So Sihi is where you have a very heavy mound. There is a bulky mound, and that mound is said to be the ashes of snakes, the burnt snakes. And they further, the people believe that this actually is very much related to this storyline, and that is how they try to reinforce the facticity and the historicity of the information. तो जो उसकी ऐतिहासिकता है और जो उसकी सत्यता है, वो उसको इस आधार पे कोशिश करते हैं कि आर्कियोलॉजिकल टीम जो गवाहों की तलाश करती है, जो प्रमाणों की तलाश करती है, ये उनके लिए जवाब होता है कि ये जो यहाँ पे राख का एक बहुत बड़ा ढेर है, लोग यहाँ पे आते हैं, और इनफैक्ट इवन टू दिस डेट, people who suffer from the snake bite, they believe that if they come to this place and they take a part of, I mean, the essence of from this mound, that is supposed to be very miraculous in treating the snake bites. So so this, in this storyline, you have the archaeological evidence, you have the storyline from the text, and you also have the oral tradition, where the people have their own belief with regard to that mound. Yes, Devishi, you have something to say?
Sir, could you please repeat the evidence that is found at Sihi? You said a mound of ashes of burnt snake.
आई मीन दैट इज एसोसिएटेड, वहां पे ना एक बहुत ही आयरन स्लैग होता है ना, जैसे व्हेन यू जब लोहा बनता है, या जब मेटल को जो मेल्ट किया जाता है और जब वो ठंडा हो जाता है, उसका जो वेस्ट होता है ना, वेस्ट, when there is a metallurgical process, in that metallurgical process you actually engage in the separation of the impure material. ah First you add impure materials, and so that it reacts, so it leads to further clearance. तो वो वहाँ पे ना एक बहुत बड़ा कलेक्शन है, and some, I mean, those who actually believe from archaeological point of view, science point of view, they relate that with the iron slag. But people who are of view, they say that these iron slags are nothing but the remains from this episode which I just shared with you.
Sir, you are
Is it
saying that it is from our history book. Then would you like to tell the page number of it, because it will be more convenience to read.
अच्छा, एक मिनट में उसको खोजना पड़ेगा.
Sir, 41
41,
page.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, आप देख लीजिएगा उस पे से, बिकॉज अभी तो हाँ. हु इज देयर, नाम किसने बताया?
तो वो ही मैं अंकुरी हूँ.
Sir,
हाँ हाँ
Pragati.
हाँ, प्रगति इज इन गिविंग यू इंफॉर्मेशन. इफ यू गो टू, कौन सा पेज बताया प्रगति?
Sir, 41.
हाँ, 41. So if you come around 40, 41, 42, 43 pages, you will come across all sorts of informations which are textual, and there you will also find what people believe. ठीक है अंकुर?
Yes.
आप
Okay.
आपने
Thank you.
हाँ फर्स्ट आप लोग ना इसको पढ़ो थोड़ा सा ना, spend some time, read and underline, and then it will become far more, it will become easier. Is it clear to everyone so far? So good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So
Yes, sir.
now see, when we are talking about, we see what we have to do when we are sharing all these storylines. The purpose is not to uh, highlight storyline per se. The purpose is to relate that storyline with the making of Delhi, and to know whether all these informations and informations regarding places are actually related to Delhi, or they are referring to some other places. In the second place, we try to verify that uh, on the basis of information which actually emerges from the archaeological efforts. So this is where the actual clash takes place, because in most of the cases, there is a lack of correspondence between what the textual storylines had to say and what the archaeological evidences have to say. Because archaeological storyline coming from the text has several things to say, but that has to have material basis, which has to be verified by the archaeological team. But since it has not been verified, many of these storylines are still very much open to a debate, a discussion, and so one has to exercise a great degree of caution. So you cannot just accept anything which comes up. So it is for this reason that we all actually wait for the publication of whatever has been found as a result of the archaeological efforts. But unfortunately, several information, several data which have been unearthed have not been published yet. And I had told you, why are they not published? There might be several reasons. There might be several reasons. Either there is a lack of support from the government, or or history as discipline is not very popular. Mm. And second, the political mileage and the controversies which in any new findings or information may have. So keeping all this in mind, and keeping the sensitivity of the information which may emerge from such unearthed materials, sometimes they remain actually shrouded, they are not published. So these are a couple of reasons why they are still not made available to the public. So we all look forward to such informations being made public, and that is possible when they are published. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
So relate this storyline with Delhi. So what is it which we are talking about? At the end of the day, we are talking about Delhi. So in one way और अदर वे, एक प्रकार से या दूसरे प्रकार से हम दिल्ली की ही बात कर रहे हैं, और हम ये जानने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि जिन जगहों की हम चर्चा कर रहे हैं या जो दिल्ली के आसपास में जो जगह हैं वो कितने प्राचीन हैं, क्या वो उतने आर दे एज ओल्ड एज महाभारत? So yes, if you are referring to the names of the places which are very common today, those places can also be places sounding very similar to today's places can also be located in Mahabharat text. The question becomes very puzzling and intriguing only when we bring archaeological findings and when we juxtapose them. So that is only when the problem occurs. Otherwise, information which we are getting is not completely unrelated. तो जो भी सूचना और जो भी स्टोरी लाइन और चीज़ों की हम चर्चा करते हैं वो completely unrelated नहीं है. और स्पेशली एज आई हैड टोल्ड यू कि एवरी इंफॉर्मेशन which comes from the text does not have to be treated in a literal sense. उसको figurative sense में भी हम ले सकते हैं, है ना? और that actually calls for unpacking and then getting to the crux of meaning which is not very obvious, है ना? वो स्टोरी को इस तरह से बनाया जाता है कई बार, उसकी है ना, इस तरह से उसको इम्बेलिश किया जाता है कि वो स्टोरी न होके बल्कि उसके अंदर एक मीनिंग होता है. ठीक है, इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is there anyone among you who is from Delhi and has
Yes, I'm
Devishi, which part of Delhi are you from?
from Southwest Delhi.
Southwest
Yes, sir,
Delhi.
I'm from Delhi as well.
Name yourself.
Sir, Abhinav.
Abhinav, which part of Delhi you are from?
Sir, East Delhi.
East Delhi.
Sir, me as well.
नाम
Manish.
हाँ मनीष, आप दिल्ली की किस हिस्से से हैं?
Sir, South Delhi.
अच्छा, तो सी दीज प्लेसेस व्हिच आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, ये जो सीही वगैरह, एज फार एज आई नो दिस इज फ्रॉम द साउथ ईस्ट दिल्ली. हालांकि है ये साउथ वेस्ट दिल्ली में क्या है कि टू सम एक्सटेंट आपका जो जेएनयू है. देविशी आर यू समवेयर फ्रॉम बसंत कुंज के आसपास से हो?
No, sir, I am from Janakpuri.
तो जनकपुरी साउथ वेस्ट में है कि वेस्ट दिल्ली है ना? वो तो
West Delhi, West Delhi.
वेस्ट, हाँ वही तो वेस्ट दिल्ली है. तो आई मीन इफ यू गो इवन फर्दर नजफगढ़ के आसपास में, तो
Yes, sir.
आपको खड़खड़ी नहर का मैंने जिक्र किया था. आई हैड गिवन यू एन
Yes, sir.
इंस्टेंस ऑफ अ प्लेस खड़खड़ी नहर. तो उसको भी उसका तो आर्कियोलॉजिकल एविडेंस है कि आर्कियोलॉजिकल डिपार्टमेंट has undertaken excavation and they had found few
Yes, sir.
evidences.
Painted gravewares, evidences of painted graveware have been found in Kharkhari
Ah.
there.
So when we are talking about all this sense, always keep one central theme in your mind कि हम लोग कुल मिला के ना दिल्ली के बारे में चर्चा कर रहे हैं. Whatever information I am sharing with you all is not unrelated, है ना? उसको हमको डिबेट करना है. वी हैव टू डिबेट all which is coming from different sources. We have to discuss, we have to debate and we have to understand कि how relevant those informations are. और हम दिल्ली के इतिहास को बाई साइटिंग ऑल दिस इंफॉर्मेशन उसकी हिस्ट्री को हम कैसे ट्रेस कर सकते हैं कि दिल्ली ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम कैसे इवॉल्व होता रहा है. सो what is even more interesting is that this team of archaeologists, when they took excavation in different parts of Delhi, and especially in that part of Delhi which was supposed to be a place where Indraprasth might have existed. I mean, this is what some of the historians believe. In fact, जो medieval जो time है, when Sultanate, the Sultan had come, when the Islam originated and started spreading and had come to India, so authors of that time and also authors of late medieval, late means Mughal period, like Abul Fazl, who was a contemporary of Akbar, and Shamshi Sari Zifa, Afif, who wrote a part of Firoz Shahi, है ना, फिरोज शाही, आपने सुना है कि नहीं? फिरोज शाह तुगलक का जो एक बायोग्राफी है। हेलो।
Yes, sir.
Shamsher Sariz Afif, he has authored, a book named after Firoz Shah. तो फुतूहात Firoz Shahi, I mean, it's like it is in praise of Firoz Shah. So part of it was actually authored by him. So he, along with, he belongs to the Sultanate period. And then Abul Fazl, both the authors also claim that there must have been a place in Delhi which was Indraprasth. So that means the identity, I mean, before Delhi becomes Delhi, it was Indraprasth, and this Indraprasth is associated with this very Delhi which we are talking about. So that is actually to some extent acceptable, and also that is subject to debate. So you have both kind of stories. आपके सामने दो दो किस्म के पहलू हैं। ऐसा पहलू भी है जिसके आधार पे आप इसको मना भी कर सकते हैं कि ये वो इंद्रप्रस्थ नहीं है। हाँ, एज आई टोल्ड यू कि पुरातात्विक विभाग ने जो उत्खनन प्रक्रिया की जिम्मेदारी ली थी, इस उम्मीद से कि उनको कुछ ऐसी जगह मिलेगी जिसका जिक्र महाभारत कर रहा है, वो है इंद्रप्रस्थ। तो उनको ऐसा जगह नहीं मिला जो उस डिस्क्रिप्शन को मैच कर सके। हाँ, लेकिन तमाम ऐसे लेखक हैं जो उस समय की तो नहीं, मध्यकालीन लेखक जो चीज़ों को, है ना, रिकॉर्ड कर रहे थे। तो जैसे शम्स सरीर ज़फ़ीफ़ हो गए और अबुल फजल हो गए, जो बहुत बाद के लेखक हैं, उन्होंने अपने कामों में इस बात पे जोर दिया है। दे हैव लेड एम्फेसिस ऑन द फैक्ट दैट इंद्रप्रस्थ was actually part of Delhi, and this Indraprasth which they are referring to and which they consider is the same Indraprasth which Mahabharata is talking about, they locate that Indraprasth somewhere nearby a place of Delhi. It's called Purana Kila. Purana Kila, आप लोग you know where exactly Purana Kila is?
Sir, I
आप
think
लोग
in
को
the
मैं,
old Delhi.
हाँ मैं आपको मैप, एग्जैक्टली एग्जैक्टली, हाँ, प्रगति मैदान। तो प्रगति मैदान इज नॉट वेरी फार अवे फ्रॉम यमुना। तो ये पूरा जो यमुना का जो पूरा जो बेसिन है ना, दैट एंटायर बेसिन एंड दैट एंटायर कैचमेंट एरिया एंड द बैंक, टुडे इट हैज नाउ बिकम अ वेरी डिफरेंट, बट at one point of time it must have been a very different place. So that is where they believe that Indraprasth might have existed. So they locate. So these people, like of Abul Fazl and Shamshir Sari Zafif, they actually locate Indraprasth in and around Purana Kila. And when excavation was undertaking in and around Purana Kila, with the hope that they would find something, so they could not actually find. As I, again I am repeating the same information though. They could not actually find. फिर भी कुछ न कुछ ऐसा नहीं था कि they could not find anything. They found several artifacts which were more or less not related to the Mahabharat's time, but they were more or less related to the NBPW time onwards. That means more or less from the end of Mahajanpada period, beginning of Maurya period and onwards. And फिर coming up all the way up to the medieval period. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
तो हम जो साक्ष्यों की चर्चा कर रहे हैं ना, आपको तमाम साक्ष्यों के बारे में बात करना है। तो इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट दे ऑलवेज क्लैश। कई बार जो ए बी सी, जो 3 डिफरेंट साक्ष्य के जो है ना, साक्ष्य के जो स्रोत हैं, प्रमाण के जो स्रोत हैं, कई बार अक्सर उनमें क्लैश भी होता है और कई बार उसमें है ना, कंसिस्टेंसी भी होता है। यू विल ऑल्सो नोटिस कंसिस्टेंसी। तो अब जैसे ये भी एक लिटरेचर ही तो है ना, ऑफ कोर्स व्हाट शम्स सिराज अफीफ हैड टू से एंड व्हाट अबुल फजल हैड टू से, ये इनका अकाउंट ऑफ कोर्स माइथोलॉजिकल नहीं है, but of course their information can also not be taken for granted. A reason why, because they could not have written anything being courtiers they were actually they were not supposed to write the objective reality. They were supposed to write in praise of person from whom they would get their living. So, but it was not mythological. Information which comes from such body of literature from the medieval period may be subjected to verification on this ground that they might not be stating uh, the true realities. They might not be stating the objective realities. They must be talking about things in line with what the ruler would think. That very much, having said that, uh, you can maintain that this information is, however, not of mythological character. So these are of different categories. So putting this literature and putting Mahabharat, which is of mythological character and oral traditions, and also what archaeological team had to say, आप सबको आप एक साथ रखते हो, तो you will find that in some cases there is a consistency across all the sources. और कई दफा ऐसा होता है कि आपस में इनमें अंतर्विरोध है. So when you are talking about Delhi, do not just talk about consistent line of information. आप जो इनकंसिस्टेंसीज हैं, जहाँ पे फॉल्ट लाइंस हैं, है ना, यू मस्ट ऑल्सो बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द फॉल्ट लाइंस. ठीक है, इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
तो आई थिंक दैट वाज इट फॉर टुडे. As far as a new thing was concerned, because I wanted you to discuss Mahabharat, archaeology, and few places, and I also wanted to discuss the patterns after which the names are found in and around Delhi, like Tilpat, Bagpat, Indrapat, Panipat. हाँ, और तो these suffixes, है ना, the ending of the names of these places is also very common, which is not found elsewhere. So on the basis of this, again, people actually do a kind of reasoning that place which we find mentioned in Mahabharat might have got a lot to do with all these places. So you will talk about Khandav forest, you will talk about Hastinapur, because the Hastinapur again, which is today's Meerut. These are all places which are part of the then Delhi, which was not a Delhi in proper sense like today's Delhi. So बहुत ही fluid boundary था. It was actually fluctuating, है ना, before it settled down for a concrete and a clear boundary. Today's Delhi में बहुत बदलाव आया है, कभी बड़ा है, कभी छोटा हुआ है, बड़ा है, छोटा हुआ है. That is one thing. Another thing which we must all remember, that uh, uh, Delhi is very close to the Yamuna and Gangetic belt. ये जो पूरा दोआब है ना, this and the Punjab. We are talking about the two river system. Aab जो word, I mean the term which we use, Aab, Punjab and Doab, these are actually very much related to the river geography. So anything which is related to the water body and and the land mass, this is what the Aab word refers to. So Delhi is actually part of land mass which is between Punjab and Doab. So Doab is the Gangetic belt and Yamuna, and Punjab is that northwest frontier, that entire Punjab onwards. If you go further up, all the way up to the Afghanistan and Central Asia, that entire region is actually part of one geography, and Delhi happens to be a nodal point. दिल्ली जो है एक ऐसी भौगोलिक स्थिति में विराजमान है जिसको आप इन दो सिस्टम के बीच में लोकेट कर सकते हैं. एंड सिंस इट इज लोकेटेड बिटवीन टू सिस्टम्स ऑफ द रिवर, इट मस्ट हैव बीन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और ऐसा भी बोलते हैं कि ड्यूरिंग एंशियंट दिल्ली, व्हेन द ट्रेडर्स वर मेकिंग मूवमेंट फ्रॉम नॉर्थ वेस्ट to the eastern part of India, they were very likely to pass from this region. So this was in one way or other way part of those few very popular routes. जैसे उत्तरा पथ होता है ना, have you heard about the उत्तर पथ and दक्षिण पथ? if you will read ancient history, within India, there used to be, two major trade lines, inland trade lines. So following these trade lines, the traders would, carry things back and forth, and alongside this line only, even the rulers would actually, follow. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, that was it. See, we will go slowly so that you do not feel bombarded. You don't feel bogged down. So, for today's lecture, just keep in mind that we are trying to discuss about evidences which are not only found in text, which can also be found in today's Delhi, and we try to see the link. And in the course of finding that link between the today's name and the textual names found in the text like Ramayana Mahabharata, we try to deal with informations which is actually coming from the historians. So Upender Singh's book, if you refer to ancient India, प्राचीन दिल्ली का इतिहास, उसमें आपको ये तमाम सूचना मिलेगा। और ये जो डिबेट है ना, जो डिबेट जो अलग अलग साक्ष्य के जो स्रोत हैं, इसमें जो आपस में जो इंटर सोर्सेस जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, उसको भी आप लोग डिस्कस कीजिएगा। बिकॉज फॉर हिस्टोरियंस इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू bring all sources into discussion and define them and tell them how are they related to each other, how are they also competing with each other. So inter sources cooperation भी है and inter source conflict भी है, and you should not hesitate to talk about both the aspects. And this becomes far more relevant when you bring Delhi into discussion. So Delhi can be one case studies where you can talk about the sources. So and with the sources you can talk about Delhi. So Delhi से source के बारे में चर्चा कीजिए और source से दिल्ली के बारे में चर्चा कीजिए। ठीक है? You can understand both the nature of both the things. So those who actually have understood as far as the communication in English was concerned, if you want to hang on to the lecture, you can hang on. You are very welcome, because now I will speak in Hindi, so that Hindi medium students also get to understand what I have to say. Is it clear? Is it okay to you?
Save the recording. Please save the recording of the earlier lecture.
हाँ हाँ, तो मैं recording off कर दूं क्या?
Yes, sir. Please save it.
I just have to stop. I just have to stop the recording. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
sir.
Okay.